had, an exorbitant use of drugs. So me and my brothers, of course, we took advantage of my dad always working and never really being around, so we were able to watch a lot of different TV shows and different movies. One movie that I loved to watch was Cheech and Chong's next movie. One of the greatest in their entire series of movies. Next one is Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams, which is a really good one, but there's a lot of cocaine, a lot of different drug use. I think I like the next movie is because of the whole driving around in a weed van. Like, shit, man. Like, how couldn't you tell that's a big, giant fucking van that's covered in weed? Beats the shit out of me. Oh. So, I get a 3-day weekend. Remembrance Day is on Sunday, and I don't care at all. Well, I do care. I care that it's Remembrance Day. I just don't care that I have the 3 days off. I'd normally have the 2 days off, but 3 is good enough for me because it gives me time to sit back and relax and enjoy the finer things in life, like not a whole lot. No. Enjoy the finer things in life. I get to watch the hockey game tonight. Jets taking on the Avs. Going to be a good game. Brandon Lemieux's first game out. I wouldn't even bring him back in. There's really no point until he watches his attitude and his minutes while playing on the Moose, or he's going to be, I hate to say it, he's going to be trade bait. And quite frankly, right now, nobody would take him because he's too much of a liability. That hit on Trocheck, it was a dirty hit. Like I said the other day. The game's more about skill than it is about, defensive awareness anymore. It's more about offensive pressure. And the defensemen know that. And that's why you see a lot more defensemen activating and moving in and pinching early. Before, not so much. The defenseman would rather, nurse the point, not activate, and just take shots from the blue line, try to get tips in front, and that's pretty much about it, and try to get caroms around the boards. That's pretty much what the defensemen's jobs were back in the day. Now, all these quicker players and faster players, they're all activating. Like, we take Josh Morrissey, for example. He's a fucking quick kid, so he activates every time he's on the ice. And if he gets caught pinching, he is actually really quick on the back skate, and he can actually back check better than a lot of the players in the NHL or on the Jets. But Brandon Lemieux, I don't know. I don't know if I'd play him. I'd probably keep him benched and off the Jets roster for at least a month. That's just for him to realize, gotta change your gameplay, bro. Sorry, Lemieux, I am a fan of yours, but you gotta change your gameplay. Look at Max Domi. Alright, kid, he's on a tear. He's got, I think it's 10 goals in the last 11 games. So, if a big brute son, like Ty Domi's kid, who also happens to be a Winnipegger, can go out and score goals, why can't Brandon Lemieux? And your dad was the biggest fucking brute in the entire fucking league. So Brandon, you got the skill. I've seen you play when you have the puck, man. You have skill. You have that tenacity to avoid the hit, avoid, getting stripped of the puck. You have that ability. You just rather use your name, your last name, and the fact that you're Claude Lemieux's son dictate who you are. You need to get past that, bud. you got to be your own player, and plus you got a whole lot of skill that you can actually show. Oh, but yeah, so that's my thing about Brandon Lemieux. I really hope he gets his shit together, because he is a terrific player. He just needs to, like I said, get his shit together. Alright, time for another quick break. Be back in a bit. Until then, no masturbating.
So, what's the plan? Right. We take Pete's car, we drive over to Mum's, we go in, take care of Philip. I'm so sorry, Philip. Then we grab Mum, we go over to Liz's place, hole up, have a cup of tea, and wait for all this to blow over.
Why have we got to go to Liz's?
Because we do.
She dumped you.
I have to know if she's all right.
Why?
Because I love her.
All right, gay. I'm not staying there, though.
Why not?
If we hole up, I want to be somewhere familiar, I want to know where the exits are, and I want to be allowed to smoke.
Okay. Take Pete's car, go round Mum's, go in, deal with Philip. Sorry, Philip. Grab Mum, go to Liz's, pick her up, bring her back here, have a cup of tea, and wait for all this to blow over. Perfect. No, wait, we can't bring her back here.
Why not?
Well, it's not exactly safe, is it?
Yeah. The state of it.
Where's safe? Where's familiar?
Where can I smoke?
Take car, go to Mum's, kill Phil, sorry, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over. How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!
It is vital that you stay in your homes, make no attempt to reach loved ones, and avoid all physical contact with the assailants.
Do you believe everything you hear on TV?
These instructions.
I don't. Actually, that's a lie, I do. I believe absolutely everything I see on TV. If I see a zombie walking around the TV screen, I have to double check. I have to make sure. I have to look outside and make sure there's no zombies walking around and eating people. And I don't know. I haven't watched the rest of The Walking Dead. I lost interest in it. I lost interest in The Walking Dead up to season 9. Pretty good. I was a fan up to season 8, up to the death of Carl. Now, it annoys me. The Walking Dead annoys me. How the hell do they keep finding all these horses? How the hell do they find all these animals? Wouldn't you think if there's a zombie apocalypse, those fucking creatures would be the first to go? Especially the ones that are in captivity. At first I thought, hey, maybe they went to the zoo and grabbed some of the horses from the zoo. And then I'm like, wait a minute. If they're in captivity, and people go to the zoo, and if people died at the zoo, then they would have food. There's animals there, they can easily, eat the animals. Because I don't think a lion's too smart to, go for the head. He usually will just go for the jugular, but that time, neck's broken, claws, all you gotta do is just scratch the eye, just a little tear, and the zombie will win. And once one zombie's being attacked, that animal's just done. Yeah. So, I went back to watching How I Met Your Mother. No specific reason as to why I decided to watch How I Met Your Mother. It's mostly because Riverdale is a weekly broadcast, and I watched the last episode of Riverdale. And I started watching the Sabrina TV show, not the Melissa Joan Hart sitcom that that had Caroline Rhea in it. And the only reason I mentioned Caroline Rhea is because she's Canadian, she's from Ontario. But she's probably one of the most beloved female comedians out of Canada. There's not really a lot of female comedians coming out of Canada. Is it Catherine O'Hara? Is she? No, she's not Canadian. I don't know. I think Caroline Rhea is the only one that I can remember that is Canadian. But anyway, I started watching the Sabrina TV show just because, I'm watching Riverdale, why not watch another one of, another comic strip that I used to grow up with and watched, and, even the cartoon was pretty good. Sabrina the Teenage Witch was a good cartoon. But this one, it's darker than what I'm used to, and it's similar to Riverdale. And I'm not a huge fan of Riverdale, mostly because it's not based on the comics like I grew up, reading. There's no, the Archies or anything like that. This last episode was more of a flashback and going back to the parents' storyline and everything. And if you do watch Riverdale, I won't ruin it. I'll wait till next week and then I'll drop a spoiler on what happened in this week's episode. Last week's episode, it was more Jughead and Betty trying to, get to the bottom of everything, and they got their hands on the Griffins and Gargoyles handbook, and then FP and Betty's mom decided to burn it. And at the end of the show, all the kids had access to that Griffins and Gargoyles book. And, well, watching it, I'm like, Griffins and Gargoyles, that sounds a lot like Dungeons and Dragons, or even Magic the Gathering. And I knew a lot of people that played both. I know a lot of people that tried to get me interested in doing them. And me being, not a nerd, and not a geek, I didn't want. I had sheer no interest in that crap. But as soon as, sports or physical activity came into play, like, playing football, playing hockey, playing baseball, I was all for it. But, to sit in a room playing Magic the Gathering or Dungeons and Dragons, no. Not for me. People are like, oh, that's just because you don't have an imagination. No. That just means that I'm not a complete loser. I'm a little bit of a loser, but I'm not a complete loser. So I'm not going to play a fucking board game like Dungeons and Dragons. Bring on Monopoly. I'll kick your ass. I'll kick your ass for probably about the first 5 or 6 rounds, and then I'll be out on money. Because honestly, I suck at Monopoly, and that's just like me playing Risk. I suck at Risk. I'm always left with Ukraine as my last fucking country. Yeah. Alright, time to take another break. Here's another clip. I hope you enjoy this one, because I always do.
I know you, don't I? I'm usually very good with names, but I'll be damned if I haven't forgotten yours.
You stole my cab.
I've never stolen anything in my life.
I hailed a cab on Park Avenue this afternoon, and before I could get in it, you stole it.
You're the guy who tried to get my cab. I knew you, yeah. You scared the bejesus out of me. Come to think of it, it was awful easy to get a cab during rush hour.
Forget it.
I can't forget it. I am sorry. I had no idea that was your cab. Let me make it up to you somehow, huh, please? How about a nice hot dog and a beer?
No thanks.
Just a hot dog, then.
I'm kind of picky about what I eat.
Some coffee.
No.
Milk?
No.
Soda?
No.
Some tea?
No.
Lifesavers?
No.
Slurpee?
Sir, please.
Just let me know. I'm here. I knew you.
Yeah, a little scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's John Candy and Steve Martin. One of my favorite movies. Just wanted to play an older clip because I didn't do my whole Throwback Thursday episode. So, this is my Forgetful Friday. Yeah. Nailed it. Okay. Anyway, back into the comedy aspect of my program. I go on date, like I mentioned, basically all my broadcasts is I go on dating sites, and every once in a while I'll go on them and I'll check it out. And the one thing that I noticed about this one dating site is Plenty of Fish.